Hi, and welcome to the Polka Dot Palace. My name's Kelly, and today I want to walk you through the transformation of my kitchen. If you haven't watched our welcome video, I'll link it here. But the short form version is I bought this house about 4.5 years ago. It was built in 1910, and the image on the screen is exactly what it looked like when I started. They loved carpet, brown, wallboard, and not a whole lot of character. Before we had even moved into this house, I had a plan for this room. I wanted my black and white tiles, I wanted bright colored cabinets, and I knew I needed to redo the counters. So step one was really just rip out all the carpeting, because who needs carpet in a kitchen, and wash everything. I am talking 60 years of grease, dirt, nicotine stains off the walls. Next step is obviously to paint all the things. I did have two ladies that paint come in and do all of the walls for me. I paid about $1,000 to have them do all the walls and that brown trim from the original video. However, in the kitchen, they did the walls and that was it. I started with the ceiling, then we went along and we did all of those cupboards turquoise. In order to do that, I removed all of the cupboards, and at the time I laid them out in what is now my living room. Just a note, if there's carpet down, not a good idea, remove it. I ended up with quite a few hairs on them. That was a bit of an issue. So that was round one of redoing these cupboards. I love the open cupboards up top. Originally, we did put the cupboard doors back on, and then we ended up removing them. There's an actual picture in here of my son at the time. I was so sleep deprived. I was pulling 12-hour days at the house because we had about 6 weeks before we moved. It was supposed to be 4 weeks, but that's a whole other story. And I had hung the cupboard doors with the door pulls on the very top. So my ceilings in there are about 12 feet high. Not a great thing to have the door pulls where you can't reach them. I had found this cute little electric stove from the 50s that was in working order on Marketplace prior to moving and bought it. Unfortunately, it never got moved to the house. There was a whole issue with the shop closing down and me not having a truck at the time. So I did end up ordering a gas stove to replace it. It's the newest appliance in the kitchen and it's amazing. I also painted the fridge originally. So I used black chalkboard paint, and painted the fridge originally. A lot of fun. You can put nice fun quotes on it. Something that I used to have, I do have a chalk wall in there as well, but I don't actually use it as a chalk wall. I had a chalk wall at my rental, and I used to update the quotes every season. I thought it was a lot of fun. I have since Mac-tacked that fridge. I'll insert a picture of it here. Whole lot of fun. It does need redone. It's been about 8 months. It is starting to come up, and I do need to redo it, so I'll probably do a video on that once I get new stuff. And then there was the issue of the counter. I'll be completely honest. At this point, I sort of wish that I had left the counter alone. I did initially paint it with the Rust-Oleum counter revival kit. I'll put a link for that in the description in case you're interested. Basically, what you do is you take a sander to your countertops. Make sure that you scuff it up and you make it as non-porous as you can. You're going to put 2 or 3 layers of primer on it. In my case, the first time I did it, I used a black primer. The second time, I used a white primer. I'm actually going to be redoing this in the next couple of weeks, so I'll do a whole video on the actual process so you can see it. I'll make sure that once I do, I leave a link in the description box below. However, it really wasn't that hard. It was literally a couple of coats of basic primer. Then you get to take fun little brushes and sort of try and create a marble pattern. They give you sponges, they give you little brushes. The second time around, we actually added glitter. My caveat to that is when we did it the second time, I painted it white with sort of a silver gray marbly pattern in it. We used silver sparkles. I actually blew glitter onto my counter before clear coating it. The only thing that I did wrong there is do not use oil-based varnish if you're using a white countertop. The countertops themselves have held up pretty well. There is some chipping around the sink, and from when I replaced the kitchen faucet, but the discoloration of that white counter, I'll include a little video here of what it looks like now. It's nasty. If I was going to do a white countertop again, I'd make sure that I use Minwax as opposed to Varathane, because it won't yellow like Varathane does. And And then the big thing was the floors. I wanted to make sure that I had my black and white tiles because I'm really into the 50s thing. We had already done the tiles upstairs in the bathroom because we were gutting it. We pulled up all the carpet that they had all over the place, and the floors in the living room and dining room are hardwood, but were very stained and had never been refinished, so we'd refinish those. So my budget was a little bit small, and I went with these black and white peel and stick tiles. The big thing that you need to know is that there's a little dot or an arrow on the back of them. You need to make sure that they're all lined up the same way. They are supposed to be 12 by 12 files, but just so you know, that's actually a big thing. So in my house, I'm not sure why I didn't use the front of the house, but I used the back of the house, mostly because I was focused on the backyard. So I have these tiles in both my kitchen and my youngest son's room upstairs. I do have to replace them every once in a while. It's relatively inexpensive, and my goal is to replace the lower cabinets and the counters at some point when I have the money. So when I do that, then we will replace the floors, and I really want like giant black and white tiles. So all of that being said, we did do a few other things in this room. I painted doors. I did put a sealant on the bottom to try and stop draft. We did replace the sealant on the screen door, and there are shelves in there that are open shelves. I bought a couple of floating shelves off of Amazon. They were small, didn't love them. I then took those brackets and bought boards that are just rough pine from Home Hardware and hung them. This is an ongoing project, and I will be replacing or redoing the counters and the cupboards in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that video.